Life has changed dramatically since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, and helping children understand why we have to keep a distance from loved ones and friends and some of the social activities we once enjoyed can be a bit of a challenge for parents and communities alike. Well, in comes Duma, a boy who goes on an adventurous mission with his friends to help protect his community from the coronavirus. That's the story being told by author and illustrator Nkosinathi Ngubane in his book entitled Duma Says, and he joins us now live via Zoom. Nkosinathi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tell us about Duma. Where did you get the idea that the story of Duma would be the key to helping children understand what they need to do to try and keep themselves, their families, and the communities safe from the coronavirus?
Thank you very much for having me this morning. The story of Duma came about because the coronavirus has really affected how we interact and socialize with each other. And many of the stories that I've read are beautifully written and illustrated, but they are mostly catered for middle class and upper class children, and children who are coming from cramped housing or informal settlements were not. I felt that they were not being represented, so I wanted to create a character that will show what it's like to navigate COVID-19 in cramped housing. So came about Duma, who I felt that would represent the millions of children in South Africa who are living in cramped housing. Their stories needed to be represented as well. So Duma would have been a easier name to understand, and a lot of children will also relate to him and his family.
And now tell us just very quickly, what is at the core of the story? What is this adventure that Duma and I think his older sister go on to bring across that message?
Well, Duma and his older sister Zinhle and his younger brother Wandile, they noticed that many people in their community are not wearing masks. So Zinhle and Duma come up with a brilliant idea to help fight the coronavirus in their community by knitting masks for the community with the help of their church members and their neighbor Gogo. So in order to fight what was going on in their community, and a lot of people are still not wearing masks, and this was very, very difficult for them to witness, and they wanted to help out, in any way that they can.
Now, I remember an interview I did with a behavioral scientist, and he said what was lacking from government's messaging on the coronavirus is for people to understand that to care for your loved ones and to keep your community safe, these are the main reasons why we should be practicing social distancing and wearing masks, and that South Africans don't react well by being demanded of, by being told that this is what you need to do and you must just do it without giving a reason for it. Did you consult with medical experts in writing the story, and especially the decision to bring across the story about how communities can work together to keep themselves and their families safe?
Yes, it was very important to also consult with medical professionals because we didn't want to give out confusing information. And this is a children's book as well, so we needed to make it as simple as possible, and also for adults to also understand, because a lot of people are still struggling to come to terms with how serious the coronavirus pandemic is. So yes, it was important to consult with medical professionals. It was important to make the book as simple and enjoyable as possible and as colorful as possible.
Indeed, and it looks colorful indeed. We've got the visuals playing as we're speaking to you. Now you and your publisher, Azad Essa, you set out to say, look, this book needs to be made available free of charge, but more importantly, it must be made available in as many languages as possible, because, I mean, at the beginning of the pandemic, that's one of the things that we were speaking about, is that information on this coronavirus was just not available in our country's 11 official languages. How important was that for you, and how have you gone about trying to ensure that this book is translated in as many accessible languages as possible, including Braille?
Well, the translation of different languages, we would like to translate into the 11 official languages. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity because everything costs money to translate. And currently, it's just available in 4 languages, which is isiZulu, isiXhosa, English, and Kiswahili. And it's currently being also translated into Urdu and Arabic.
Wow.
But this is because of some generous people that have come forward to help us translate this book. But it's very important for it to come in different languages so it can travel far and wide for many children to actually relate better into the book if they read it in their own language.
And Nkosinathi, before I let you go, tell us a bit about your story as an illustrator. I know that you are visually impaired, but you speak very openly about the fact that you know that you were blessed and lucky to grow up in a family that made the right decisions to allow you to be in educational spaces where you could thrive. And is that in those spaces where you found out that you had this gift for artwork? How did you go out then deciding that this was going to be your life's work going forward?
First of all, the support of my family has really helped to shape what I wanted to become when I grew up, and it was very important for both my home life and my school life to have this support, because then it's much. I figure that it's much easier for children to quickly identify what they would like to do with their lives if they are supported. And I've been very, very fortunate for having a support system that I've had. I've been very fortunate with the reception I've been getting from the book. I mean, it completely exceeded my expectation, and it's just inspired me to just continue to do what I do, and to continue to write more books under Duma Says.
Now, very quickly, if people want to find out more and they've now heard about Duma and they want to get a copy for their kids or for their school or for their community, where can they find out more? And I believe there is a crowdfunding campaign as well so that you can get more of those printouts out to spread the message.
Well, the book is completely free. The first resource you can visit is the sacoronavirus.co.za. This is a 0-rated site, which means that you won't be charged any data when you download the book. The book is also available in Social Bandits Media website, the New York City Department of Education System, and Harvard University's website as well. The book is available there as a completely free PDF download. For those who would like to purchase the paperback, it is available in Durban on Ike's Books, bookshop in Durban. And for those who would like to purchase, who are international buyers, the book is definitely also available at Amazon.com.
Well, we can only wish you and your publisher everything of the best with Duma Says. And of course, if there are more Duma Says projects coming along, we do wish you the best of that.